Welcome back. Okay, pet owners, it's time for Brett the Vet to join us in studio and answer any questions you may have about all your furry friends. But first, let's talk about protecting our pets during this extended summer heat. From making sure their little paws don't burn to keeping them safe from all those crazy critters we get here in the desert. Joining me now is Dr. Brett Cordes, better known as Brett the Vet from Arizona Animal Hospital. Great to have you as always, and boy, do we have a lot of viewer questions. First off, we know it's still hot out. We're still dealing with triple-digit temps. So what do pet owners need to know to protect our pets?
Well, we're all anxious to get outside.
Yes,
it's
we're
been so
over
hot.
it. Yeah.
But you know, the wildlife's anxious to get out there too. It was so hot that I think rattlesnakes were hibernating, frankly, over the summer. But on the elbows of summer and fall, they're going to be really busy. So as we get outside and loosen up,
right, especially in the early morning and in the evenings.
Watch for those critters.
Yeah.
Still hot out. So if we give too much freedom to our dogs, they're going to run and overheat.
Yes.
So we want to be careful for that. Scorpion stings, insects are all very active this time of year. This is when we see the most activity, I would say. It's not the peak of summer. It's the beginning of summer and at the end of summer. So hopefully it'll cool down a little bit.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, so what should we do? Let's just say, you know, my Sunny Lou, she gets bit by a snake.
Bring them right in.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring them right in. There's a few things we do now. There's a rattlesnake vaccine, which can be helpful, especially if you have a dog who's really high risk, who I say has a high prey drive, who's out sniffing around, getting under the bushes, sniff, sniff, sniff.
Yeah.
Get bit on the nose.
Yes.
If you have a dog like that, you might consider a rattlesnake vaccination.
Okay.
Rattlesnake training, significant.
Oh, yeah, I've heard a lot about that.
Go online, and there's a lot of resources for rattlesnake training.
Okay.
And I think that's more effective.
Right.
But a snake bite you want to bring in. The good news is, in my experience, most dogs do okay with rattlesnake bites. Very few of them meet their demise.
Okay.
But most of the time we can treat them, but get them in quick.
Okay.
And if we're closed during business hours, know where your nearest emergency clinic is so you can get them right in and get the antidote. It is kind of expensive, but you need to also consider budgeting for those kinds of expenses for your pet.
Kidding. Okay, so let's launch into our viewer questions. This is one of many that we'll have in the next 20 minutes, but our first one comes from Mina in Gilbert. She says, Addie, our Australian German Shepherd, has been licking her right leg in one spot for a couple of weeks. She licked it to the point where there is no more hair or skin there, and it's raw and red. We had looked at it, and they couldn't find anything. Why would a dog lick one spot to the point there is no more skin there and continue to do so? Doesn't it hurt?
Is that Addie right there?
Yeah.
Isn't she cute?
So cute,
She's
but
beautiful.
poor Addie though.
Poor Addie. Well, she'll be okay, first and foremost. But with Addie, that breed, it's either a couple of things. Allergies, right? We talked about that last time.
So
and
many.
We've had so much alert. The environment has been so active in so many ways. Allergies, pollens, and molds are still here, still an issue. But also behaviorally. So if she's not busy or she's anxious, sometimes they'll lick persistently out of boredom. So a herding dog, working dog like that might need a job to do. So find some activities and see if you can distract her from that behavior. And if it doesn't go away, sometimes it requires medical attention.
Ooh, all right. Okay, good stuff. And we've got more, much more, many more questions coming up.